Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of the Cartridge and Disc Podcast. This is your Gen X gamer here. Let's catch up with Arcade 1-Up. Last time we talked about him, it was like telling you a story about a sitcom, right? The stuff you can't believe. You know, if you told the story about a rig contest, gentleman wanted to gain sexual favors from another man's wife, it just sound like a comedy bit or something like that. But it actually happened, right? It's real life, unfortunately. These cabinets that are supposed to bring people together and strengthening the family are actually destroying families out there and ripping friendships apart. It's funny how that happens here on YouTube. But the thing, guys, is it only happens here on YouTube, right? A lot of people out there feel very passionate about this. But if you look, they're really not talking about the company. They're talking about other people. So it really doesn't matter. And I think unless it's an argument between two people, right, that you're watching, then that's different. But when you're talking about a company, but the arguments are between people, it really doesn't affect the company. It doesn't, right? And because people are focused more on the people than they are on the actual product. And right now, Joe Public out there, whether you feel on one side or the other about this cabinet, they don't care, right? The general public doesn't care. Now, I have a lot of new viewers, so let me tell you, what is my take on Arcade 1-Up? And I've gotten this from both detractors and supporters of the company. They're too expensive, right? For me, $300 is my threshold. Anything over $300, based on what I see, is a little too expensive. Could I do $350? Yeah, right? But I couldn't go $400. $400 to me is too expensive for these machines, right? At most, and I feel I feel like $399.95 would be their retail price. You know, they would have to discount it down from there, right? That's basically the way I feel about these cabinets, and some of the lighter ones maybe even less, right? So it's just a product that's, to me, overpriced. But that's just the way I feel. It doesn't matter what I feel as a YouTuber, right? Because the public is buying them. They're buying them. We just got a run of Marvel versus Capcom 2 over here, right? And this is unreal. Like I'm reading some of these reviews, and what I see here in my area, it could be different in yours, but let me tell you how nuts it is over here. 83% of the reviews are positive, right? Most people, like over 60% of the people, give it 5 stars, right? And in those positive reviews, they acknowledge all the problems. They acknowledge all the problems of the product. Now, these are people that are paying full price. These are people that are paying $600, right? So what are you going to do, right? If the people paying the money for these things and they're running out don't care, not only do they not care, they're paying full retail price, Arcade 1-Up really doesn't have a problem, right? And that's why they can do things like this. Just brush aside the criticism that they had. And what are they doing? They're putting out a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Kith Edition, which they're featuring out there in Comic-Con. And they have the big Buck Hunter Pro Deluxe. That's what you have out there. They're putting out more cabinets for people to buy. And I think there's a $50 coupon that you can get there somewhere. So they're charging even more for the Marvel vs. Capcom 2. For those of you who can't get one. So all the drama, all the controversy, all that stuff really doesn't translate into any negativity when it comes to their sales. It just doesn't, guys. And it's because the company has reached that point where they're pumping out product. It's not affecting their sales. Is it an inconvenience? Yes. Yes, it is, right? Because YouTube is the second largest search engine out there. And you don't want people getting that impression off of you. But they're hoping that they can, generate enough buzz here with new products and what have you, that people really don't pay attention to that. And a lot of YouTubers actually if you look at it, actually help them, because in these controversies, they don't really talk about the company. Right? They really don't focus on the business. A lot of this is YouTuber on YouTuber crime. So that doesn't put the shine on the company. That really, even if you don't realize it, shields a company, because it's just two people attacking each other. Right? It's just two people going back and forth in an argument about a company. Right? But the focus of attention actually becomes the individuals and the drama and all this stuff, and people just tune that out. If you're going to buy something, you're doing research for a purchase, that's not what you want to look at. You want to look at the technicals, you want to see this or that, the other. You want to read the reviews from the people, that are paying full retail price and telling you that the Wi-Fi online competitive doesn't work, and they're still happy with the cabinet. And it's because, and this is just my theory based on what I've seen here, right? Which is, guys, 80% of the people, and I don't know what your experience is, but let me tell you, most of the people around me that have shown me their, setup, never play these machines, right? It's mainly ornaments, right? And it's mainly for the purpose of people walking in like myself, other gamers, and going, wow, what a good setup you have, right? It's a nice setup you have. They're ornaments for the rest of the collection. That's what I've seen. There's a couple of people that actually enjoy the game, right? There's a couple of people, especially older folks, they enjoy playing Pac-Man a lot. I've noticed that. The Miss Pac-Man, right? Those are arcade cabinets that we grew up with. But most of the customers are really millennials and earlier, right? That really is your customer base, because those are the people who grew up with arcades at all. Anybody younger never really experienced an arcade. And those are the people that have disposable income, and they just want a little piece of nostalgia. And a lot of these people, a lot of the casual customers that you see out there don't even own consoles. They just want this arcade piece or a couple of arcade pieces, what have you. But in the long run, it's not affecting at all Arcade1Up's business. So they don't need to have stronger PR on YouTube. And it is an inconvenience. They should fix it. All those things. But at this point, they just... the public in general is just like fish. You just give them another shiny object and they chase it. So as long as they're able to do that and the people aren't upset about the price, there's nothing to do here. There's nothing to see here. And the more people fight on the internet, the more it actually shields them, because people just tune it off as two people fighting and not an actual criticism of the company. All right, guys, that's at least what I see. Those are my few observations here. I think the company's going to move forward. Most people don't know about them. They're still getting known, and I think they're going to grow for the next 2 years if they don't do anything even worse than this giveaway. And hopefully they'll vet their people and learn from their mistakes. But it's Arcade1Up. Right? Who knows? We'll probably have some more comedy along the way. All right, guys, I will catch you on the next one. Take care.